Hello, beautiful people. Welcome into the Untitled Podcast. My name is Bobby Levine. I think this is going to be correct. Jeff Webb?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Is Pat below us or above us?
He's below you.
Okay, so I have it right on my screen as well.
Yeah.
Jeff Webb, my man, how are you doing?
Oh, man, it's been a busy 2 weeks. It is a time to work in news, that's for sure. Not bored. Work is not something to sleep on right now. We're delivering the facts.
Yes.
And you're down there in Florida. You're with the national hub, and you're actually pumping out content to the whole region.
Yeah, left and right. We've been busy. It was my birthday this past weekend, so I got called into work 2 Sundays ago, and then I told my boss, since I did that, I'd like to have this past Monday off, so I've had a 4-day week. Tomorrow will be the last day because I had Monday off, and I said, like, if you can, do not call me at all because I'd like to have Saturday off. So it's been a nice couple weeks getting to learn the whole system. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm very happy. Joining us in LA. Is this your first podcast?
So I actually had a podcast of my own at one point in time, but as a guest on someone else's, yes, I'm excited.
Okay. So you've done podcasts before. Patrick Wilson in LA. Do got to give a shout out to my old roommate, Adam Cohen.
Absolutely.
But before I even introduce you, let me talk about our sponsors real quick. Jeff's got the hat on, Chase and Tail Adventure. I can count myself as a full-time fisherman now since I have been nonstop posting pictures on Facebook about that. They are about to drop like 100 new products on their website at chaseandtailadventure.com. They said if you buy let me read this off so I don't get this wrong, but if you buy one of their hats, the American flag hat, and you get American flag Chase and Tail shirt for 50% off. They will drop 100 new items moving forward for the July 4th sale, so we're super excited for that. And since I have been fishing like crazy, I do have to get involved with that. Patrick Wilson, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much for having me. Sincerely appreciate it. Thanks for thinking about me.
I had to pull up the bio too real quick. So you're an online fitness coach who loves pizza. We love pizza. What's your favorite flavor?
Favorite go-to pizza? Man, like it's like ice cream. It's like I can literally have anything and I'd be so just infinitely happy. But if I had to pick an all-time pizza, probably like pepperoni with sausage and banana peppers. Like that sounds elite. That sounds nice.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm a cheese guy.
Oh, wow.
Just cheese? Just plain?
Well, yeah. I used to be a huge pepperoni, but since going pescatarian, eating only fish, I was like,
respect.
I can't go wrong with cheese pizza.
I feel that. Now, Pat, are you a order out kind of guy or are you a make it at home kind of guy? Like, what's your first instinct?
Absolutely ordered out. There's one time I've ever made a pizza at home. It was actually for a first date, so it was like kind of fun. It was kind of festive, and it tasted really good. But it was like I couldn't full on go in on this pizza because it was a first date. So I had like a little slice, and I was like, I'm just gonna chill, play it cool, but always order out normally. What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff, what's your favorite kind of pizza?
It sounds like you make them at home.
I do make them at home every once in a while. I like to make a nice like cast iron pan pizza. Do a little bit of cooking on the stovetop and put it under the broiler for a little bit so it gets a nice brown and a nice char on the underside of the crust. Anyway, I'm a big fan of onions, mushrooms, black olives, and jalapenos.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'm a very big pizza fan, so hey,
yeah,
I'll take them anyway.
Jeff is vegetarian. I'm pescatarian. He loves to cook. I also love to cook. This guy's a wizard in the kitchen when it comes to making stuff in that oven.
That's amazing. Yeah, the way he just described the pizza and all that went into it, I'm thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, he's
blown away.
He's all about that. I think last podcast it was when he made his pizza and you sent a picture to me. Is that correct?
Yeah, that one I made a cauliflower crust. Cut down on the carbs a little bit and just mash up some cauliflower, put some cheese and an egg, and just kind of spread it out, par bake it. put some toppings on. It was good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Now, Pat, you have your own company. It's called Journey to Gains.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, how does this? You got to. I'm gonna go to everything else afterward, but how did this come about?
The name of the company itself, or actually starting the business?
Well, I hope the name came up from something of yourself, but I'm saying, how did you become your own company? How does this process go about?
Yeah, absolutely. So in college, I guess I'll take it back a little bit. So in high school, I was always just like super, super small, like the smallest kid. I was trying out for the basketball team in high school, and it's just like ridiculously small. So just like instantly took to lifting weights and like that being a thing that I had to do in order to even have a chance. Like I went to Gahanna my freshman year, so there was a lot of guys who went on to play Division I basketball or football, and I somehow ended up making the team. And then after that, just continued to work hard in the weight room, and that became just a part of what I did. Anyway, got on to college, and I played basketball for a year in college. Ended up playing for a year, but I didn't play at all on a team that went 0-25. That's a whole other story. So I was like, time to hang it up if I don't play on a team that's 0-25. So in my time that I was using to play basketball, I started, lifting weights and doing that more on a regular basis, and that kind of taking the place of sports. And so with that, once I got to a different school, I got a job at the gym, got my personal training certificate, kind of got rolling with that. But my degree was in finance. And so I just thought I'd get a job in finance and like get a, kind of safe career in a sense. Like I feel like finance or anything in business is like quote unquote safe, and like you go get a decent job. So I was like, I'll do finance, but I knew I loved the fitness side of things, and I worked at the gym and did all that. And really, in my spare time, I just looked up nutrition and workout stuff nonstop. Like that's all I would do. Like I think I always tell people I pretty much majored in like how to lose body fat and get in shape, because that's all I'd look up, like videos on it, do stuff myself. I'd work out for like 2 hours a day. Just like went ridiculously crazy with it, and like did enough to get by with finance stuff. So fast forward, graduated, got my first job, first couple jobs in finance. And there was just like one day I was sitting in the office, I'd go work out before work each day in the morning. And there's one day I was leaving the gym, and I was like, I don't feel like going to my finance job right now. Like I'd rather just be like doing stuff based around working out. And then like a couple months later, I was sitting in the office, and I was like, there's no way I can do this the rest of my life just sitting here. So I had a good friend that ran his own real estate business, and he was my roommate, and he was always telling me I should do like some kind of side hustle with the fitness stuff because I know about it, blah, 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 blah. I was like, nah, it's not realistic. It's not a realistic thing. And then finally, I just kind of hit a breaking point in my finance job. I was like, I'm going to regret this the rest of my life if I don't like take a chance and like do it, just try something at least on the side. So I started just posting on Instagram all the time about just stuff that I learned along the way, whether it be like squatting tips or like orders at Chipotle to help you lose fat, just like goofy stuff like that I still like implement, kind of post about now. And randomly had one of my good friends reach out to me and ask if I'd help him get in shape. And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. Like, I'm down, bro. So I had to like build out all these like workout programs, like kind of how to go about nutrition for other people, how to structure it. And then I just kept posting and posting. And then he had a really good transformation, like worked there for like 6 weeks, and he just went ridiculously hard, completely changed his body. So we posted that little progress picture. And then after that, had like 5 people reach out to me. And then I was told my roommate, I was like, bro, if I get 10 clients from doing this on the side, I'm going to quit my job. Like I didn't have that much saved up at the time, but I was like, if I put more time and effort into this, like there's no reason I can't make this like legitimately like a business and job and career. So about a month and a half later, I was at 10 people, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go for it.
Let's go. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's kind of the story of it.
That makes me cheese so hard. I love that so much. I mean, that just shows like, first off, you can learn so much with technology we have today. You don't have to go to school. That just shows like, you know what? YouTube and Google can take you so far.
Everything.
Yes. And that's the American dream right there. What you just said right there. I'm going to make it. I have a mindset. I want to try this out, push yourself to the limit, and look what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
I think there's something like really cool to be said about like reverse engineering, like what you want to see on the internet. Like you said, you watch like videos on like how to cut fat, how to get in shape and stuff. So the next step is like, oh, I want this. Other people must want this. So I'm going to post about it. I'm going to make something about it. I'm going to become one of these people that help other people. And that's it. I just think that's something really cool that, people take away.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And kind of going off of that too, that was a big thing because I had always looked at other people's videos and kind of saw their approach to it. And oftentimes in fitness, it's always like super duper strict and like you can't drink or you can't have pizza like we were talking about. And so I was like, I like that stuff, but I still want to get in shape. And like no one talks about that. So that was like the whole premise of what I posted about then, what I posted about now. And I think that also had a lot to do with the success I've had with it is just because people relate more to that. And like, if we can work on them getting in better shape and just making some progress and feeling better while also still having a social life and doing those things, I think that just for the day-to-day person, not someone that wants to do a bodybuilding show or something crazy like that, like that's more applicable to them.
Yes, 100%. Guys, if you're joining us now and you're looking to get in shape or you're looking for tips, this is the podcast for you. We're joined by Patrick Wilson in LA. You moved out there how long ago?
Oh, about a year-ish ago.
Was there a reason? Did you just like say,
this is a whole other funny story for you guys. So I was working, this was another thing. I was working my finance job. So my fitness business is all online. I don't have any in-person clients whatsoever. Speaking of YouTube, I saw someone that did their whole business online. And so I was like, I'm just going to go about it this way and see how it goes and just post all the time on social media. And part of that was because I wanted to move to different places. So my initial goal when I started the online business, my fitness business, was that I'd live in a different city every 3 to 6 months. Just because I wanted to like experience stuff. I was just like so fed up with like being in Columbus and like just sitting there. Not that Columbus is bad, but I just knew I wanted to get out and explore.
The shithole. Once you move, you want to go to the shithole.
I do love Columbus, but yeah, I wanted to see new stuff because I'd always grown up in Ohio and that's it. Yeah. So my initial plan was to move to Salt Lake City, Utah. Super randomly. I just was looking at a list one night of like the top 15 cool places to live in the United States that were like affordable, or just some like goofy list like that. And I was like, oh, Salt Lake City sounds cool. Like it's in the mountains. I've never experienced that. I'm gonna go there. So I was like dead set on going. Was just gonna like find like some place to rent on like Facebook Marketplace. And then actually one of my friends from college, it was, there's a fire truck going by. I'm sorry, it's super loud.
We can't hear anything. You're good.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Bless. That's amazing. So I had a friend that lived in LA, and it was in February, and it was really cold in Ohio. So I just got on like Frontier and was looking up flights to warm places. So I was like looking at Florida, looking at different places, and I saw a round trip or a flight to LA for like $100. So I was like, oh, bet I'm gonna like hit up my friend that lives out there and see if I can stay on his couch. Because I felt comfortable enough. You know how there's friends were like, you wouldn't ask that, but like him, I felt very comfortable. I was like, yeah, he'll let me stay on his couch. And he was like, actually, my roommate just moved out, so you could like sleep in his old bed. He like left his bed and everything. And I was like, oh, for real? I was like, wait, what are you doing with that room? Because I was already like dead set to move to Salt Lake, but I didn't have like a specific place yet. So I was like, if this works out to go to LA, I should just do that. And so he was like, bro, if you come out here and like it, like you can stay if you want. So before I even went out there, I was like, yeah, bro, I'm just going to move out there. I'm just going to go. So it was just like very spontaneous. I was already like kind of a minimalist in a sense. Like I literally had one suitcase of clothes that I brought out here, and like, that was it. I just decided that was a good play.
That's wild.
I love the vibe of just like, fuck it, I'm just going. I'm just picking all my shit up and I am going to the coolest place that I can see. What were some other places you were looking at? Like anything else on the West Coast, Seattle, Portland?
Yeah. So I was going to go to Salt Lake. I was going to go to Phoenix because I had some friends there and like figured I could like kind of get a cheaper rent going there for a little bit. I love Phoenix when I visited. I never, ever wanted to go to LA because I thought it had like a real like bad stereotype to it. Like kind of like all like Instagram influencers are going there and it's like super fake and like ritzy and all that stuff. So I just never really thought about it. I thought about Portland. I thought about Dallas, thought about Seattle, thought about like going to Philadelphia for a period of time, pretty much just anywhere in the US. And then at that point, after that, after like a couple of years kind of bouncing around, I thought that I would maybe start living in a different country for a period of time. So Yeah, that was kind of the game plan. But yeah, LA, moved out here, and the first 6 months living out here were like the hardest mentally challenging times I think I've ever had in my life. But well worth it.
So you get out to LA, living minimalist. I can completely go off with you. I've been down here quarantining for the last 2.5 months, living off of 8 T-shirts, 6 pairs of shorts, and everyone's like, "Oh, how you like it?" And I'm like, "Well, all my stuff's still up in Columbus. Like, I still need to go out and get all my shit." But when you're traveling like how you are, if you plan on living 6 months at different places, you got to live out of a suitcase.
Yeah, for sure. So that was the whole plan going into it. That's why I could just like up and move to LA on a whim. I was like, all right, yeah, let's do it.
I hope you try to go to different countries, because when I went out to Thailand, I was meeting people that were out there living, I guess, hostel to hostel for dollars a night, and they were there for months, and they could survive so cheap. But obviously, you've got the whole package where you don't have to meet anyone in person. You can give them tips, you make your money, and you can do that whatever you want. And obviously, I've been following you for the last, I would say 7-8 months now, I think it is.
Yeah, decent amount of time. Yeah, we've been following.
And now I think you've moved apartments, so you got a different background when you're doing your workouts. And I do appreciate that, but you could have some amazing backdrops if you go over to like Southeast Asia and you decide to like start doing the pull-ups on some huge background on some mountain range or something like that.
Oh, that'd be crazy. That'd be insane. Yeah, no question. No, I would very much like to do that and live somewhere new. Even like Mexico's close. I've kind of looked into that a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see.
So now most people, when they get into fitness, they have a story about them. They were bigger and they decided to lose weight. Jeff can account to this. Jeff was a bigger guy. Now, Pat, you might not believe this, but Jeff, how tall are you right now, and how much do you weigh compared to what you were at your max?
Okay, so I just got one of those fancy scales, actually, just in the mail the other day. But anyway, so I'm 6'3". I'm a taller dude. Right now, I am very skinny. I weigh 162.
Okay.
I was at one point 240.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's extremely impressive, man.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's been a lot, and I attribute a lot of it to a vegetarian diet. And honestly, like, I can eat in volume, which is something I've always loved doing without like an excess in calories.
Yeah.
But now I've like bottomed out, and I'm like, I'm not looking to lose any more weight. Like, I am perfectly fine right here, but I could, bulk up, and I wouldn't mind that.
I'm telling you right now, Pat, could be your number one client, because this dude has the body ready to go, and all you have to do is put 10 to 15 pounds of muscle. This dude's going to be absolutely shredded.
Oh, you look crazy. No question. Like, I can tell you're really lean as is, and like you have really good eating habits. Like, it would really just be all about getting in some additional protein and getting in more calories from that, and then like lifting 3-4 times a week with like a proper program, man. You could look pretty nuts. You look crazy.
Pat, he did message me in the last 2 weeks saying he was wanting to switch his diet up, and I didn't want to say like, listen, the guy that we're having on this podcast is perfect. But this is a match made in heaven right
here. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Jeff, man, like, yeah, you could make some really good, cool things happen for your body and like feel good about it. Like, you could do some damage, some good stuff.
Well, that's the one thing that I did want to like. I don't know like how much you like, you offer advice on the food side of things, but I've actually been thinking. I've been doing this vegetarian thing for about 3-4 years now. And I'm just hitting a point where like I'm not satisfied as much. Like I'll eat like, a good amount of food, but there's something missing. And I've for the first time in like 4 years, I've been like craving like lean meat, like chicken or something, just to like add to a salad or something like that. But I'm kind of like, I don't know what that's going to do to my body at this point.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, like, as far as how your body will react to that. Just like as far as like how it'll make you feel, that kind of stuff. As far as like how it's going to change your body, though, like getting in more protein from any source, it could be a vegan option. Like I buy like the beefless ground beef from like Trader Joe's. Like that's like very high protein, super tasty. Like even an option like that. Like just getting in more beans, getting in more nuts, stuff like that. It's not going to be as high in protein and as like low calorie as chicken is or some other sources, but you could still get in some solid, more filling options, I think, that would help you, add a little bit more muscle, add some size, and also probably help you feel a little bit more fulfilled for meals too.
Yeah.
I love it.
And that's definitely like, I'm not doing any favors for myself. I haven't lifted in years and years, and like I do a lot of cardio. I run and bike, so it's definitely not doing much for the gains department. But
hey man, there's not that, but that's such a good thing. That's a cool thing because like even for you, if you don't do that at all now, you could do like 2 lifting workouts, like 2 full body lifting workouts in a week, and like you'd see a shit ton of progress. Like you'd make a lot of progress. So you're in a super ideal position. You have good eating habits. You're active right now. Like the 2 things to add in to make a ton of progress would be like 2 days of strength training, lifting, and getting into more protein, and like sky's the limit.
Yeah, we suck at social media, but we're gonna have to get an Instagram page. It's gonna be just Jeff shirtless, and we're gonna go through his progress. And if anything, I will pay for Pat's program, and we'll show the difference right here, week by week, and it's gonna happen.
Every picture is just a 9x9 grid of like me shirtless every day.
That's amazing.
Guys, you're listening to the Untitled Podcast. We've got Gains by Patrick Wilson joining us all the way from LA. I do want to get to the aspect of social media right now with you. You are now on Instagram. You've been on Instagram, TikTok.
It's my jam.
It's a huge part of you. It is your jam. You are now over 100,000 followers. TikTok's not my thing. Vine is my thing. Vine has always been my thing. That died off when I was in college. What is TikTok? What demographics are you hitting? Your apartment building burning down right now. We can't hear that now.
Yeah. We'll let it pass. It should pass. Sorry about that. All right, we're good.
You're good.
So yeah, TikTok. So I don't know if you've heard of who Gary V is by chance, Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah,
so that's my guy. Like when I first quit my job, his book on social media was the only book I read. Like I read the book, implemented what he talked about, and just like took off and went. So like Gary V's word on social media is like the end all be all for me. So if he tells me to do something, I'm about to jump on it. So like 6-7 months ago, he was talking about TikTok. He's like, you're gonna regret it if you don't get on. Like posted that in all his videos. And so I was like, what do I have to lose? Like my Instagram was very stagnant. Like I had about 5.5 thousand followers, which is solid, but it was just very stagnant. My business was doing fine. Like I was comfortable with where I was at, but I was like, for the effort I'm putting into social media, I want there to be more growth. Like I gotta just keep pushing, and something's gotta give. So TikTok had there was an opportunity there where it's just like very undervalued attention, and like there wasn't enough people creating for the content. So if you make any videos, like you're gonna get a shit ton of traction a lot easier than you were on Instagram at that point in time.
Yep.
So TikTok, it started as Musical.ly, so it's like a very younger crowd at first. And when I first got on it, very younger crowd. Like everyone that would follow me on Instagram from TikTok and like follow me on TikTok itself was like in high school, and a lot of them still are, but like in high school right now, like in the early stages of college, like 14 to like 19-year-olds. But now that TikTok has gotten more and more popular, it's continued to evolve and grow. And in the last 4, 5, 6 months, like my business has picked up immensely, and a lot of it is from TikTok. It's people that are around our age or older that have reached out to me and are working with me now, and it's again from the TikTok space.
That's wild. And so, how many followers from TikTok have equated to Instagram?
So again, I started about 5,500 on Instagram, and I started doing the TikToks regularly, and now I'm at 10.1 thousand on Instagram. So pretty good amount. And then even YouTube. So I was really consistent with YouTube for about a month period of time. Like I had a bet with one of my old roommate that's in real estate. We had a $100 bet to see if we could get to 1,000 followers on YouTube first. And so I just went like crazy hard for like a month straight and like asked my TikTok followers, like follow me on YouTube. And I'm at 2.5 thousand on YouTube right now. And I just like haven't had a chance because I've been really busy to post on there. So the TikTok platform is like gone and grown every other social media platform for me.
That's wild. So you just post a video every day? Do you have it planned, or how do you go about this? Because obviously you don't want to run out of ideas. So you're coming up with like a set schedule.
Yeah. So I feel like anytime I talk about social media, people think I'm like very structured and detailed out with it. And I've tried to be, and truthfully, man, it's literally like the day of, I'll like read a random DM someone sent me on Instagram, or like read a comment someone left, or like I have all my own clients, so they have questions on a regular basis. So if someone has a question, I literally just like make a quick video about it. And so on TikTok, it's a little bit different than Instagram. I feel like Instagram, people think they have to be like perfect all the time and like post the most pristine photo each day, like look their best. On TikTok, it's a little bit more casual. So for me, I was like, I'm gonna post 3 to 4 times per day on there, and it's quick videos. There's 15-second videos. I was like, I can take an hour each day, an hour and a half each day, and make 3-4 videos every day. And especially when I already had traction with it, I was like, I know it's working. It's just a matter of hammering it home and doing it. So once I had like kind of video structure that worked for me, I just kept doing that and kept rolling with it. And yeah, it's gone crazy.
When it comes to media creation, I feel like Instagram has kind of become almost like a media maker's resume, like from top down. Like the first 9 pictures that you see are like your first impression of somebody wants to hire you, if they want to do something with you, if they want to collaborate with you. TikTok, like you said, it's more casual, and I personally am completely unfamiliar. I've never had the app, I've never downloaded it. But like, how does that mood change? Like, are you more fun on TikTok? Do you take more risks on TikTok?
Yeah. So my whole approach on TikTok. So when I first got on TikTok, I would only post workout videos. I'd literally like be shirtless, and I was like really, really lean at the time. So I'd like take a shirtless video and like point to the muscle group that I was working in the video, then show exercises you could work for like shoulders or biceps. And I'm pretty confident I was the first person on TikTok that did a video like that. I don't even know how I came up with the idea, but I was like, oh, this would be kind of fun and cool. Anyway, my TikTok initially kind of started blowing up from there. I got to like 15,000 followers from there. And then there was just like a bunch of other guys that started doing it on TikTok that were like way more jacked than me and looked like more swole than me. And they like just took it over that like kind of aspect of it. So then I was like, what can I do that could be different on here? And so I posted one video one day of me explaining like how much protein you should get in, like just me talking and like explaining it through. And I feel like I simplify the fitness stuff pretty well and do a good job of that. And so I was like, I'm just gonna make a video talking about it. And then like that video went absolutely crazy. So I was like, oh, maybe that could be like a part of it. But I didn't think too much about it. Then kept posting other workout videos for a couple weeks. Didn't really do shit. I was like, let me try this again. Went crazy again. So I was like, that's it. That's what I'm gonna do like for the rest of TikTok time as of right now. So for the past 4 months, it's literally just like me sitting here talking. I'll talk about a fitness topic that I like, again, hear throughout the day. A client asks, someone random asks, or I think of, and just like go through it. It's a quick 15-second video. And people, I don't know, people like me. I don't know why. I don't know. I like try to smile at them and be like cool, friendly, whatever. Just try to be myself with it. But
I'll tell you the reason why people like you. Guys, first off, we're listening to the podcast with Patrick Wilson. You're from Columbus area,
yes,
suburbs, moved out to LA. He's now a personal trainer online. You guys have any questions, please feel free to hit us up on the Facebook Live feed. The reason why you're very likable is you're all natural and you're not bullshitting us when you say that on Instagram. There's a lot of people you could follow that are absolutely fucking humongous. And me being a lean 5'10", 180, 85 pound guy, And we talked about this before the podcast. We've thought about doing steroids, never have.
Right.
But when I look and watch somebody on YouTube, on Instagram, I want someone to have the same body type as me and be personable. And you hit that on every single level. You're not the guy that's flashing $100 bills like, hey man, I'm wealthy. I got this from my parents. You've obviously worked hard to where you're at, where you've gotten. You're working out in normal gyms. You're working out in your backyard on your dryer sheet or hanger, doing pull-ups.
Right.
So you connect to the audience. Not everyone's doing something right now, trying to stay in shape, whether they can go to the gym now. But you've hit that demographic.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
what
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
that's what you like. It. The other thing that you said is that you simplify it. And that exactly goes along to what with Bobby's saying, is that it's so easy to understand when the information is given to you as somebody who doesn't lift, who doesn't work out regularly, who wants to get into it. You know, it's so intimidating to watch people talk about, you know, all their like, you know, their macros and their like, you know, their
protein synthesis and like a whole bunch of just BS. It's like, no one really cares. Just like tell the people like how to get in shape and like go from there.
Yeah, people want a starting place. People want like it. People want to grow with you. They don't want to just look at like this, you know, giant Arnold Schwarzenegger monster and be like, oh man, I really wish I could start somewhere and be that.
For sure. And kind of going off of that with fitness, I think the biggest mistake that anyone that wants to have fitness be some kind of career or business is that they talk so much, like people talk so much about themselves and don't post about stuff that's actually going to help someone else. Like I think if you go to most people's fitness pages, it's like talking about what they are doing and like they're getting in shape and this is what I do all the time. It's not like saying you, like this is what you should do to start out and get in shape. This is what you should kind of be eating. And so that was my whole approach too. Like no one talks about what other people should be doing. They're just kind of, I saying selfish with it, but they're just like selfishly posting because it makes them feel good if they post like a shirtless picture. Which like, granted, I do that too sometimes. It's like, I'm like, shit, I look good right now. I'm gonna flex real quick. Like, fuck it. But yeah, I think just looking out for people and wanting to genuinely help people is the most important thing.
Coming from an average person that will watch stuff on Instagram, try to take down notes. I mean, the first thing we introduced you is your favorite food's pizza. I watch Family Feud every night. And if you ask 100 random people what their favorite food is, more than half of them are probably going to say pizza. So, I mean, you can get into the shape you look like and still eat other food that isn't, quote unquote, the healthiest food, correct?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I feel like these other people like shove that down their throat, like, oh, you have to stick to strict guidelines. Like, you can, but you also can go off script a little bit and still get to the results you want.
Yeah, for sure. And then kind of going back to the whole idea, it's like people want to be able to have some balance with their life. And like, no one is realistically just going to avoid pizza or like avoid having drinks or like avoid that stuff forever. Like, that's not an enjoyable life. That's not the life I personally want to live. Like, you got to have some balance with it and enjoy life for all the great things there are. So.
Well, that's the whole thing with like dieting and like changing like how, you know, you eat or whatever. When you diet, like you're doing it, like a lot of people do extreme dieting where they like, you know, cut out like, oh man, you know, I'm not going to eat junk food. I'm never going to eat, you know, above 2,000 calories for like a month. And then, you know, they do that all this time and they hate it so much and they just go right back to it when it's over. The thing that like I've seen in like so many different people online, you know, people who make these videos, I'd like to see, you know, what you think about it, but it's about lifestyle change.
For sure. Absolutely. And I think it's a two-sided thing. I think a lot of fitness people often talk about how strict you have to be with, you know, eating like chicken and veggies and that kind of be it and that kind of be the end-all be-all. But then I also think people just in general want to get in shape as fast as possible and like want to see results as fast as possible. And so if you want to get in crazy good shape, like ASAP, like as quick as you can, then you have to be stupidly strict. But if you want to legitimately, like you said, make it a lifestyle change and like gradually get in shape and be okay with it taking a little bit more time, then that's when you can work in some of those fun foods, pizza, alcohol, stuff like that. So I think it's both sided. I think fitness wise, there needs to be some more balance factored in. But then as people, not just in fitness, but in anything, you have to have a little bit more patience with whatever your goal is that you want to accomplish.
Now, you've been a personal coach online for how long now?
It's been about 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
How many clients do you have?
So it ranges. Right now I'm at like low 60s.
Low 60s. And demographics wise, how many male to female and what age range would you say most?
Yeah, it varies a lot. So I have some older, I hate saying older, but I have 2 clients that are like in their 50s. They're both women. Most of them are going to be between the ages of like 22 to 28. And honestly, between male and female, it's pretty evenly split.
And all over the world?
Yeah, so of lately, because of TikTok, it is legitimately all over the world, whether it be, so I have a client in India, I have a client in Ireland now, I have a client in the UK or in England. So it's getting a little bit more widespread, but definitely all across the U.S. Like I could probably travel to damn near any city in the U.S. right now and be like, hit up a current client or former client and like link up with somebody.
That is unbelievable. So do they text you? Do you give them their number? How does it? They DM you all day long?
Yeah, so we have weekly check-ins through email. So that's kind of how I structure it, just to stay for me. Like I can't be texting 60 people nonstop every day. There's no way. But people are pretty good. Like we check in so regularly, like once a week, especially when people are busy. A lot of these people like have their own jobs, might have kids, like have different stuff going on. So our weekly check-in is probably more than enough for a lot of people. It's just pretty much all through email. So everyone works on their own time zone. People are pretty patient. I'm patient with other people. Like I understand life happens and stuff pops up, but they're pretty consistently talking to each person once per week. I go from there.
So what do your clients, what do your clients get? People who subscribe to you, do they get like videos, just like general email coaching? Like what does that look like?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the structure of it really is all completely customized to the person. So workout wise, it's a workout program that's customized based on what their schedule looks like. So I'm not going to have someone plan a workout program where they're supposed to work out 6 days per week and it's like they're super busy with their job right now or just like starting out. Like for you, like I wouldn't have you doing 6 lifting days a week. Like I said, it'd be 2 to 3 days. You're starting out with that. That's a good starting point. We might build on that, add some more days each month, but the number of days depends on the person, the kind of exercises, kind of work around injuries they have and go from there. And it depends like if they want to put on a lot of muscle, then we do more exercises that, kind of relate back to that. If someone just generally wants to lose weight, kind of get a little bit more tone, like maybe we added some more cardio to the mix. So it's all dependent on them as far as workouts. Nutrition side of things, nutrition is more of like the legitimate coaching. Like it's like, because nutrition is such like habit based. Like you grow up seeing how your parents eat and like you eat a certain way. And then once you go to college, like most people eat like jackasses. So you kind of have to try to break that a little bit more. So the nutrition side is like really like, like what's going on? How was this week? What areas did you struggle with? What areas can we improve on? And it's like, we set like calorie and protein goals, which are good to have like a baseline of what to go off of. But so much of it is the habit-based side of things. And like, what can we improve on with that this week? And then, like I said, we check in once per week. So that kind of adds the accountability side of it. I personally, unless it's someone that like tells me they react and respond better to like me getting on their ass, like I'm very supportive of each person. Like if they have a win and they like do really well with workouts, even if it's like something small, or they just like take more action and get an additional workout this week, or like whatever it is, like I hype everyone up. I'm like, that's fucking great. You did that. Like, that's amazing. You're killing it. Just because I feel like like you said, the fitness stuff can be overwhelming and tough when you have so much going on and again, most people want to get in shape so fast that if they're not given some kind of positive reinforcement, which they deserve, then they probably aren't going to stick with it that long. So that's kind of the structure of how I roll and go with it.
Now in college, did you gain any weight like that when you ate? Did you eat like shit?
My dog. So going back to the reason I got into fitness and really did it as my thing. So like I said, I was super duper skinny, man. I was like 5'4", 98 pounds as a freshman in high school. Like I was tiny. Even my senior year of high school, I was like 5'8", like 135. Like I was small. And then so I just wanted to get as big as possible, like as jacked as possible. So I went from my freshman year playing basketball, I was 5'8", 155. I put on a little bit of muscle. By the time I was my first senior year, I had two. My first senior, gotta love it. My first senior year, man, I got up to 228 pounds, like 5'8", 228, bro. I was a bowling ball.
You were a meatball. That's exactly what you were.
Bro, yes, a meatball. Like, I was strong as hell. I got a lot stronger. Honestly, I've maintained a lot of strength from then. But, yeah, that was my whole goal. I was like, I'm just going to get as big as possible. I added a lot of body fat. Like, I was legitimately, like, not obese, but, like, I had a good amount of body fat. And then I was like, yes, isn't it? 228 on a 5'8" person does not look good. It just wasn't a good look. I didn't feel good day to day. It wasn't good. My eating habits were trash. Like I was like drinking Sprite and like just like drinking soda and like having double wrap burritos for like multiple meals a day. It's just like goofiness.
Oh my God.
Yeah, bro, it was bad.
Just eating everything, full bear mode.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was going ham, man. I probably had 5,000 calories a day at one point in time.
And you didn't swim and burn everything off like Michael Phelps did.
Right. Like I was walking around campus barely and like just trying to get as jacked as possible. So anyway, then I was like, yeah, it's got to change. So then I cut down from like 228 to like 185, and I was like looking good again, had abs, like looked good, but then like went through like a breakup at one point in time, and like got back up to like 215. And at that point, I was like always big into bodybuilding stuff, and so wanted to do a show, but just like never knew when I was gonna do it. And like once I like had this like long-term relationship split up, I was like, I'm gonna do this bodybuilding show. Like that'll be something good for me to work towards.
Get back at the ex-girlfriend. I love it.
It wasn't even like for that necessarily. It was just like more for me because I was like, I need something to like make me feel whole at that point because I feel like I put so much of. I mean, just within your relationship at any point in time, like you kind of you're invested in a person. So I feel like a lot of me was like invested in her. And I wanted to have my own thing where I can just like go all in with it. Yep. So the bodybuilding thing, I did the whole like prep myself. A lot of people like hire a coach, which like I probably should have looking back on it. Yes and no. Like it was good for me to learn a lot of mistakes along the way, and I probably could have done a little bit better if I had a coach. But ended up doing a show and got like ridiculously lean for that. That was cool. And then after that, that was when I was like, I think I could help more people right now with fitness stuff. That's kind of what led into the business side of things months later.
Yeah, when I went to college, it was the first time I was not playing a sport or sports. I played 4 sports my senior year of high school. So I did 2 sports my fall semester. So I was so schedule based. And then when you get to college, that schedule falls off and you are kind of like a fish out of water flopping around, like trying to figure out what you're good at or what needs to happen. So I definitely gained weight, but I also went to the gym. So I was like, I got to stay on this regimen. I loved being in shape. But I also wrestled in high school. So I was always live and die by the scale. And I still am. Yeah. I weigh in every day and I weigh out every day. That's how I mean, I know a lot of people are like, I hate the scale, which I understand, but that's just like, that's my goal.
Yeah, for sure.
Go by it. So, eating whatever I wanted and at late hours of the night because no one was telling me, hey, you got to be in bed. That bit
right.
And I did the same thing. I dropped weight when I became pescatarian really quickly, and then I graduated college, and then again I was like, I have no schedule. So that was the same cycle. I gained a whole bunch of weight again, traveled the world, went to Thailand, ended up getting food poisoning, lost 20 pounds in a night, and I was like Jeff, I had the body, and I was like, we're just gonna push it. We're gonna eat healthy. We're just gonna grind in the gym. So
there we go. Damn, that's crazy.
Oh,
You got the
my
blank
God.
canvas so you can build on it. There you
But
go.
that's what
Yeah.
you are right now. We're
Yeah.
gonna push you through the ringer, man. I'm telling you, Pat's gonna get you in shape, and you're gonna be like a Vin Diesel, but with hair, walking around like expecting like no one's gonna fuck with me.
For real,
Now working out though wise, my mom has a question. How do you find quote in shape? And she's 59, so she's older than your oldest client. So make sure you be nice on the verbiage here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. How do I define being in shape? That's a good question because I think there's a difference between legitimately being in good shape and looking like you're in good shape. Like, truthfully, I think I look like I'm in good shape. Like, there's been many times where I'm, like, super ripped up, have abs popping, but, like, I'd be completely gassed if I had to do some kind of, like, circuit or, like, run a mile or something. So, I mean, I think some kind of balance there where you're pretty relatively lean, like how you look. You're not like ridiculously cut up, shredded, but can also like go and, run a mile or two and not feel like your lungs are about to explode. I think that's probably the best mix of both, I would say.
Yeah. It was weird because obviously you go through cycles in life, and my mom was actually talking about this earlier. She was stalking you today, and she was like really angry at the fact that you said that you stick with the same workouts. And I'm all about that. I have a strict schedule: Monday's leg day, Tuesday's back day, Wednesday's chest day, and go on from there. But can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think a lot of people, they just bounce around a lot, and it doesn't give them a chance to legitimately get better at the actual workout itself. So there are certain components of any workout where you're going to inevitably run into the same stuff, but if you have like a certain amount of sets and reps you're doing, same exercise you're doing, at least for like 2 to 3 exercises a workout, it just gives you a chance to get better. And when you get better at them, you're going to build a little bit more muscle. You're going to be more comfortable with them. It's going to translate into you looking better, building a little more muscle. It's going to help you lose more body fat. So, I mean, part of it depends on your goals. And I'm not saying you should do like literally the exact same weight you have to increase something, you have to change something to get better, but I think a lot of people just bounce around way too much, and that inhibits them from making the progress that they could be making.
I love that. No, 100%. And I also say, like, I agree with you on that, but also when you start doing the same workouts, you can also start going up in weight, and you can see the difference.
Yeah. And so that's my main thing. It's like you want to have at least 2 or 3 exercises per workout where it's pretty much the same. Like if you do a leg day, most people are going to do some kind of squat, some kind of deadlift. If you do a chest day, it's going to be some kind of bench press. And I think the goal is to try to get better at 1 to 2 exercises for each body part regularly. And then everything else you can kind of mix and match, but at least a couple exercises you're getting better at on a regular basis.
Jeff, you got anything to say right now? Because I got 1,000 questions.
Man. I went into my apartment's gym for the first time today. Didn't do anything. I just wanted to look at it. It was on my way to the pool, so I got my aerobics in the pool. Don't worry, but
you didn't get some curls in before you went to the pool.
With everything going on right now, I'd have to like sanitize.
Yeah,
sanitize after, and then and I was in a hurry,
I get it. I got understood, Jeff. I got you.
Excuses, but eventually. See, the thing is though, is that like my day is so screwed up. I wake up at 12:30 to get into work in the morning. And then so I work 4 days a week, 12:30 to 11:30 a.m. And it's hard for me to figure out a time to get in there, but regardless, working on it.
That's a hell of a schedule. I've never ever in my entire life heard of a schedule quite like that.
It's during COVID though. Usually he's not working that crazy schedule. He's usually working 5 days a week from 3 o'clock until
3 to 11.
11, yeah.
Which
is still ridiculous, and that's why I'm so envious of your lifestyle, Pat, because you say fuck a boss, you say fuck whatever schedule is normal because you can do whatever you want, and you're working out. And I'm so jealous because I love working out.
Yeah, really. Fuck this guy.
No. Like the idea of it sounds great, and I think there's like, at least for people that probably look at me, I think they don't like throughout COVID and like throughout the time where business has increased, like I've probably worked out on average like 3 times per week. Like it hasn't been much. I also have been averaging only like 4.5 to 5 hours of sleep lately, just because like I've been so busy with stuff. Like last night I slept like 3 hours. Like it's just been it's just been a shot in the dark with that. So there's definitely a lot of work that goes into it. So it's kind of picking and choosing your battle. Like I have a lot of freedoms and flexibility, and like I'm my own boss. I can do my own shit. But yeah, it's kind of a give and take with it.
Now, how long did it take you to start working out in the gym to where you got a workout high? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, bro, I just always loved it. Like, I think even when I was like a freshman in high school, or even before then, it was just something I just gravitated towards and like loved. Like, I don't really know. I think legitimately, like from the first couple times I like lifted weights, I was like, this is the shit. Like, this is amazing.
When I was working out after high school, I think the first time I got on pre-workout, I think it was like the first time.
Yeah.
I was like awakening, like cocaine almost, like in a movie when someone takes a drug and their eyes just like, whoop, hello, we're here.
Oh, for sure. What was the first pre-workout you took?
What was the first workout? I couldn't even tell you. I was at this, I forget even the gym's name. It was on Bethel Road, but the girl that gave it to me was training for the USA track team. I forget her name. Oh my gosh. But she was so shredded and ripped. And she was like, I want you to try this. And I think it was right going into my 5th year senior year. And she gave it to me. And I remember I was at the gym, usually at the gym for an hour. I was at the gym that day for 2.5 hours, working on every single muscle group possible.
That's so funny, man. That's so funny.
I was so zoomed in and just focused on everything. And then I didn't take it again until after I graduated college. And then I've belonged to Planet Fitness ever since then, but I've loved it. And it was just like, whatever, after I get done with my like mile run or on the bike for however long, I get off, I start working out, and then it just hits me. I'm just like, all right, we're here for the next 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah, about to do some damage. That is awesome.
Before we end though, what is your end goal? What's your main goal with all this whole process? With you owning a business, with you having 60 plus clients right now, what's the main thing? Own a gym across the world? What is it?
Yeah, so not a gym, so it's definitely going to stay in the online space. The ultimate goal is to continue to build my business, have a lot of coaches working under me, and having like a legitimate, scalable service business with it. Just because, again, in fitness, there's a lot of people that don't talk about like enjoying life and enjoying drinks and like how to fit that into your goals. So right now, that's actually kind of like where I'm at. And with me being so busy, like I need to start making some hires, either whether it be an assistant, something like that. The end goal is to have like a legitimate, bigger business where there's coaches working under me or just coaches themselves, and I'm kind of running the show at that point. So that's one aspect of it, and then other business stuff based around fitness. Kind of probably based around the idea of having fun foods or like kind of how that works. So that's another thing in my head right now is like trying to find a scalable. More scalable product with it. So a lot of cool stuff that I can do. It's just a matter of one, having time, and then actually executing doing it. So the main thing though is helping people and wanting to help them as much as possible. Look and feel how they want while also enjoying life. And so that's what the main business is going to be built from.
Well, Pat, you keep it up. I'm telling you right now, I'd love to work for you.
Hey man, I'm serious. I will absolutely keep that in mind, bro. Like I want to work with people I enjoy that are passionate about it. So that I'm serious.
I mean, you see from Jeff, the schedules are not fun that we're on right now. And I have a great schedule right now, but this isn't going to last forever. And I know that shit's going to hit the fan again when I have to go back to a normal going into the office. And I hate working weekends, and I love having my free time and grinding. And if it comes to it where you have a set plan, I will quit my job and work for you.
I'm dead ass serious, bro. I'll absolutely keep that in mind. Like, just hearing you be as passionate as you are about it, like that's the number one thing.
100%. Well, we appreciate you coming on, man. And guys, if you're looking to get help message us. Go check him out on Instagram, Gains by Pat. Go to his TikTok, Gains by Pat. Jeff and I don't have TikTok, but if you have TikTok and you're looking for some free help, go check out those videos. And we'd love to get you in contact with him. And if you're not listening to this live on Facebook, Jeff, where are you going to find us at?
You can find us at any place you like to listen to your podcasts. We got SoundCloud, we got Spotify, we got Apple Music, we got Google Podcasts, we got Facebook Live, we got YouTube. You can find us on any of those places if you want to talk to us about a previous topic, this topic, a new topic. If you even want to be on the show, you can send us an email at untitledpodcastoh@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at untitledbros. Tweet at us, provoke us. We'll respond.
Yes, we're going to create an Instagram now, and we're going to get you signed up on Pat. And let him.
There we go. Yeah.
Hey,
follow our Instagram for my shirtless pics. All right, Bobby.
OnlyFans too, baby.
Hey,
We'll get
another income stream. Let's get it
Oh
going.
my goodness, yeah, we'll have Jeff posing nudes and stuff like that. We'll get all. Oh my goodness, Pat, you got any last words before we sign off here?
Man, I thoroughly appreciate you guys having me on. It was a pleasure. You're both awesome individuals. Fantastic to connect and touch base a little bit more, and looking forward to seeing who else is on the podcast. And again, just thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, before we sign off, I do got to give a funny story about how I came into contact with Pat. Last year during opening day, one of my very good friends is Noah LaChance, season ticket office helper for the Columbus Blue Jackets, and Jeff and I love hockey, but he hooked us up this past year and we had a great time. But somebody, I was trying to think of the whole story, but I forget. Someone before him mentioned you, and then when him and I went to opening day, and he was getting back into shape, and he was like, "Yeah, my guy Patrick's out in LA. You were out in LA then, right?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Patrick's out in LA helping me. I'm trying to get this program." And I was like, I know that name from somewhere. And then Adam Cohen ended up posting some Instagram story. I was like, that's the same fucking guy.
That's funny,
I've heard this guy before. And then you didn't go to OU, but you had so many friends out from OU.
No, I went to OU. I did go to OU.
How long did you graduate from OU?
Yeah. That's where I went. Yeah, I went to OU.
You did not run into each other is the question.
I don't know. I have no idea. It's funny, but yeah, I went to OU. I will say my last year and a half there, I didn't really go out or anything. Like I said, I was in a relationship, so I just chilled at home. But yeah, man, I went to OU as well. So yeah, we know we probably know so many more of the same people than we even think or could even imagine.
Yeah, and then it was Bree. She was getting help from you, and I was like,
yeah.
I know this guy. I know him. I don't know him, but I know him. So that was how it all worked out. And then Adam came on the podcast, and I was like, can we get Pat on? And here we are. So, Pat, thank you so much for coming on and shedding some light on getting tips and getting in shape. And I hope to get people underneath you. We got Jeff. I'm going to pay for him. We're going to get you underneath him. And here we go. So, thank you so much.
Much
guys,
love.
Be safe out there. And next week we'll have Chuck Ringwald on. So we're going to be talking about eating healthy, which is honestly the biggest part into getting the good physique. So Pat, Jeff, thank you guys, and everyone out there, be safe.
Much love. Thank you very much.